It's the NFL on EA Sports, and all eyes are on the dual threat Lamar Jackson. Solid performance a week ago, throwing for 3 touchdowns. It's the Ravens and the Colts, next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Ravens offense set to go to work, and it's Lamar Jackson now in his 6th NFL campaign who will lead the way.
Before the game, when I said hello to him, I tried to give him a little dap, but he wouldn't give me any, and I thought he was snubbing me, but then I realized he's keeping all that flame to himself. How about the week he had last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week?
Here's the 4th-year man, J.K. Dobbins. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. Inside the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Wow, first play of the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, you spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Dallas Flowers going to bring this out of the end zone. So here come the Colts to take over for the first time, and leading the way is the number 4 pick in the draft out of Florida. Here's Anthony Richardson.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well, Charles, we get a look here at the Colts 2023 draft class. Contributors up and down their 11 selections, but of course it's really going to be remembered for that name at the top, the new face of their team.
Anthony Richardson, he continues the trend of dual threat quarterbacks expected to take over the league, and he might be the next level. What an athlete. And how about the rest of the picks? Great value with cornerbacks like Julius Brents, wide receivers like Josh Downs. They should see the field plenty as rookies.
And they'll hand off to Hull. They find some open field here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. The Colts are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate. They're always tough, NFL.
Kylan Branson, the intended receiver, and it's third down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Third and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, third and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 105 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. And maybe that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. On the return, here's Dallas Flowers. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
You look at this Baltimore defense. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
When they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
I came into this game eager to see how they would hold up in man coverage. And on that play, they held up quite well.
On third down, here's Richardson. They'll run the screen with Moss. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. Here's Richardson to throw. And this one is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand. And that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Right back to Moss. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Ravens, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Richardson. He finds his man, complete. That's Moss. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
Boy, that was certainly well run defensively, and the key to any screen play is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackled him for just a short gain.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for 1st. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Richardson. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just now supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football outside the 30 to the 29. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. Oh, good move. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 123 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this 1st half. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll go nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Colts pick it up, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Remember in preseason.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Yo.
Now an option play on second down. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 11. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And his throw is incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Running right through him. We'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And the football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Jackson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. Able to avoid him, and they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 136 yards rushing for him now as this sensational afternoon continues. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Quick slant complete to OBJ. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Odell Beckham, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Ravens will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it's OBJ, Odell Beckham, who ends it with a touchdown reception. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Colts about to go on offense one final time in this first half. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10. Yeah, Richardson back to throw it. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Forced out to his left. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll get started up at Cleveland Browns Stadium in Cleveland. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. Trevor Lawrence with a couple of touchdown passes there. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. The Ravens were led in that first half by who else? The former MVP Lamar Jackson. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break. Both teams going back to their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Colts going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Now Richardson, and that one going to be off target and incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a roughing the passer penalty there, CD.
And we know that these pass rushers love to get after rookie quarterbacks, but they've still got to do it within the scope of the rules. And that time, the hit came just a little bit too late. And the official won't even think twice about pulling his flag on that one.
This one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. Now, after the loss, he'll have to navigate a 2nd and 17. Richardson's throw going to be caught by McKenzie. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Richardson looking to throw this. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Patrick Queen picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
Now on 4th down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now Jackson on 1st down. A short throw caught by Andrews. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
13. Hey.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 151 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They run the option here on 1st and 10. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And all the way in for the Ravens touchdown. So it takes them just 3 plays here to find the end zone. And you remember, of course, this was all set up by their defense.
Yeah, they got the stop on 4th down, so I imagine the offense said to their defense, thank you very much for this great starting field position. And like you said, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone.
Tucker now to add the point after. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and a long run there in the end to top it off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Indy set to go on offense once more. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a 1-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Richardson now on 2nd down. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Going for it on 4th, Richardson. It's complete, swings it out to his running back. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Here's a 2nd and 5. Another run here with Dobbins. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Andrews. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Report.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So back now in Baltimore. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Jackson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there, all 11 guys on defense, diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Richardson to throw off play action. This one completes Alec Pierce. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. Richardson looking to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, he's intercepted again. It's Richardson's 3rd of the game. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder, because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. 2nd and 7. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Now a 2nd and 10.
Go. Middle.
Oh, the option right is Jackson. Now bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says, well.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Throwing is Jackson. Throw out wide is incomplete. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
They go play action with Richardson. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Second and 10, back to the air with Richardson. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Back to the air with Richardson. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. 4th down, desperation time. Here's Richardson. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Richardson on 2nd and 10. He'll take a shot for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Looks like they're going to keep throwing to the bitter end. This one's long since over, but give them credit. They're going to go down fighting. That one, incomplete.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, here's Richardson. And that will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here we go. Ready.
Going for it on 4th. Here's Richardson. That is caught. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that...
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film section in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Richardson to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it,
You see what I did?
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. And Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Baltimore, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.